the Rocking RoadShow, the only show with 4 bikers by bikers. Jump on as we talk all things motorcycle, maintenance, accessories, weekly rides, bike nights, and more. With your hosts, Alvie and The One3. So kickstands up and let's get rolling.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to yet another episode of the Rocking RoadShow. As always, I'm Alvie.
And I'm the 1-3.
And we got a special guest today.
Sam Sheen.
Sam Sheen. Little background real quick on Sam. Sam was the lucky recipient of the Soggy Ride up to Crystal River that we talked about a couple weeks ago. So the trio here, this was the fun super fun ride that we had up there. So
I think my Hydrotech just dried.
Did it just dry today?
So again, welcome to the show. We got a show. We got a lot of shit to get through today.
Oh God.
As you can see, things look a little bit different on the screen. Alvie went and learned some new shit on the computer, and hopefully,
golf clap.
Yeah, right. So hopefully, it'll look a little bit better for everybody. Just kind of, starting to make this thing look like a somewhat professional show. So with that in mind, as you can see there on the ticker, the big thing we kind of wanted to get into today was the St Pete Bikefest that we went to 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. That was a great time.
So for those of you that don't know or didn't see, obviously we were up on Facebook Live a few times while we were there, but we did go to the St Pete Bikefest put on by the city of St Pete, our friends at Full Throttle, our friends over at Burt's Barracuda, harley-davidson, and it was a phenomenal time.
Oh, it was a blast.
It was a great event. This was the second annual, so the second time they did it. And from what I understand, the first one was phenomenal as well. And everybody, on the way out was saying how it just keeps getting better. So,
I mean, it was absolutely amazing. I don't know how many bikes were there, but they parked us like in the back 40.
Yeah, I mean, we were on the fucking tennis
on a dirt tennis court.
Yeah.
I mean, when we came out, our bikes were, well, my bike's black anyway, but it was covered black with dust. It was horrible.
It was, man. But it was a hell of a time, man. We had a great time. The fun thing about it was it was fucking freezing. Well, I shouldn't say it was freezing. It was freezing the day before.
Well, yeah, I rode to work in St. Pete, and I don't know what it was in the 40s that morning.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was horrible going in, and then it warmed up, and I didn't need my chaps to go to the event because I left there, and then you guys met, with my wife and everything, so it was fun.
It's bitter in the mornings.
It was very bitter in the morning. Oh my gosh. You were out of town though. So
yeah, I was out of town. I did get to ride yesterday, and it was 42 degrees in the morning yesterday. So that was a little sting.
Oh man, it's cold. I ride every morning to work, and it's cold.
You guys are better men than me, man.
What, you a fair weather rider?
I'm not a fair weather rider, but when it gets...
He proved he wasn't a fair weather.
Yeah, I mean, but when it gets to be, 40 degrees, I like to, take a step back for a minute and just kind of look at the cage. The cage looks a lot better at 45 degrees when you're trying to get out there.
Stuff doesn't stick to the bike as well whenever it's cold, though.
That's a good point. That's because there's nothing out there to get stuck to the freaking bike. Because everything is like, no, fuck this. I'm staying in tonight.
Right? Well, I took this morning, this picture of my temperature gauge.
Yeah, it's about 42.
On my bike. And I don't know if you can see that thing, how clear it is.
There it goes.
But, oh my gosh.
So 30 something degrees.
38 maybe?
I don't know, yeah, right around 40 degrees.
Now that was after it already warmed up. I had been riding for an hour because I leave up here in Wesley Chapel and go to South St. Pete. And when I finally looked at it, I got on the Howard Franklin, and I looked down and I go, what? like wiping my eyes, you know. There is no way. And it was in the 30s. It was below. I could clearly see the 40. And I'm going, this is just ridiculous.
That's crazy.
I did not know it was that cold.
That's crazy.
But back to Bike Fest.
So back to Bikefest. Yeah. So we'll get into something that happened to myself in our Tech Tips Revisited coming on a little bit later. But so we go to leave, and 1-3's wife met me at my house.
Right.
Me and Kim at my house, and we loaded up the bikes and we headed out towards St. Pete. Well, as I was going to meet your wife at the 7-Eleven around the corner from my house, I get on the bike and it's not feeling right. Something's wrong. And I'm like, man, what the hell? And so I jump off the bike real quick, look at it, and I'm like, I can't really see anything, and having a bagger, you can't see the fucking rear wheel on those damn things, right? So I'm like, man, I think the tire's a little bit low. So I get going, and it's riding like the air is that, I got a flat tire, or that I've got a low tire, front end's just blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, we're going on for a little ride here. So we get to the 7-Eleven eventually, and tech tips, right? Putting air in the rear tire of a bagger is an absolute motherfucker. You can't get to them. The bags are in the way, and then if you got the bags out of the way, the freaking the rotor
right
is in the way, and it's just
the pulley on the other side.
They need to have a freaking angled
a 90-degree stem.
Yeah, they have to. It's because the way it's set up, it's a pain in the ass. But
something to submit to Harley.
Yeah, well, like they're gonna fucking listen to anybody.
Harley listens to individuals.
We'll get to that point in a minute here too. So, anyways, but we take off, and it wasn't a terrible cold ride, but it wasn't, it wasn't warm.
No.
And I've got a pretty good Florida winter jacket, riding jacket that keeps me warm. But I had that on, and gloves and face shields and everything else, and it was still a bit chilly.
Yeah, it was cold.
But we got down there, checked into our hotel, and went out to Ferg's and had some beers.
Yeah, man, we had a couple beers.
Had some pretty good food, and it was a good time. We had a really good time. And then the debauchery began on Saturday, and we headed out to the trade. Oh, that's the other sponsor of the Bike Fest was the Trade Winds, and Trade Winds Resort down in St. Pete. Phenomenal job, guys.
Outstanding.
You guys went above and beyond. I mean, the workers there, all the people, all the groundskeepers, and everybody that had to do it, I'm sure, did overtime for that weekend.
Oh man.
Bartenders. I mean, everything. It was. I mean, it's a legit resort that for that weekend caters to, I don't know, thousands of bikers.
And going to that, back to the employees, that place was spotless.
It was spotless,
dude.
It wasn't a mess anywhere.
There was not even cigarette butts on the ground. So I saw people walking around, with them little tongs, picking shit up all day. Just that was their job.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it was legit. It was clean. It was clean. It wasn't. I mean, the bathrooms were clean. Everything. I mean, they did a phenomenal job down there. Bartenders were just as fast as you could be. They did a hell of a job.
Well, as fast as they could be for that line.
Yeah, I mean, you got that many people, but they tried doing something with tickets and everything, but the ticket system, if I can offer up anything to them, change the way y'all did the ticket system. Because I mean, the ticket system was you bought a ticket for $1, right? And then so I think each beer was $6 or something like that. So you had to give them 6 tickets to get a beer. Well, that's great, but now if you want more than one beer, now you've got a fucking lay of tickets that you've got to carry around to everybody. Instead of just saying, hey, I want 10 beer tickets, and you just pay them $60 and you get 6 tickets.
Right.
That's a beer. Or I want 6, liquor, drink tickets or whatever. They're $8 a piece, whatever. And you go that way, and you have a blue and a red one, or something like that.
You took it from me. I was gonna say, just make them different colors.
Let's make them different colors, and you just get 1 ticket per drink, and you're done. So they had a section set up for the drink tickets, which they didn't have. They only had like they had shitty beer, honestly.
Yeah, they did. They didn't have any good
Bud
beer.
Light, Land Shark, and I don't even know what the other one was.
There was no craft beer. There was no, I don't even think they had Yinling.
Well, at the beer ticket place, you had to go to the actual bar.
You had to go to the actual bar to get.
And that's what everybody was doing. Everybody was just going.
That's the standard at those events, though.
Yeah,
those standard beers.
Yeah, you get your standard, your standard run of beer, but yeah, that'd be my only. That's my only gripe, my only bitch about the whole whole system. Other than that, I mean, it was fun.
But they did have the drink all day beers, like the Bud Light.
Oh yeah, when you're at an event like that, you kind of have to, right?
Drink all day.
So we end up getting there, and we go around. The vendor section was okay. It wasn't great.
I actually expected it to be a little bit bigger.
I thought it was gonna be a little bit. I think like Quaker Steak and Lube, for instance. I think their vendor row during bike nights was bigger than the Bike Fest.
Really?
I felt like it was. Anyways.
But you know what? I haven't been to one of their bike nights. We went to an event there, and they only had a couple vendors.
Oh,
so.
really? Yeah. See,
but,
like they do it up really good. But I know it just felt a little like
it was
like they kind of mailed it in almost.
Yeah, like
you know
hey,
what I mean?
Put this here and put.
Maybe,
that
I don't know. Maybe they're charging too much for vendors to get out there. Could
well, for that because of where they were at.
Yeah.
I mean, they charge $10 per bike.
Right, 10. And let me tell you, those motherfuckers spent some money, man. Are you kidding me?
Hand over fist, baby.
Easily.
Hand over fist.
Easily. And I mean, you could go in and out all day, but I mean, pretty much you get there and you're kind of set up and you're done. You're not going to leave or whatever. Yeah. And I mean, like you said, I don't know how many bikes went through there that weekend. And it started on Wednesday.
Yeah. The one thing I did like is you paid the $10 for that day. You could come and go all day long.
Right.
So it wasn't like, hey, you park, you get your ticket, you got to come back. And no, that ticket was good all day. And I did like that. If you decided, hey, let's get the hell out of here, go do something else, you were good. But
just for the day, though.
Yeah, it was just good for that day. So like Sunday, we got there. We only stayed there, about 3 or 4 hours. Paid that $10 on Sunday. It was like, well, you know what? And no, I spent $20.
Yeah, because you got 2 bikes.
Yeah.
So another cool thing that they did at that event is they included a bunch of different bars and restaurants and and the vendors across the area, right? So they had the scavenger hunt, right? Which was a really cool idea, and there were a lot of people that did it that actually completed the entire list, which I don't know how you did it, because you had, like, for instance, you had Peggy's Corral, which from St. Pete to Peggy's is easily an hour.
Had to be.
Because, I mean, you have to go either down and up or up and around. Like, there's no way to just jump across.
Well, no, you wouldn't go up, because if you went down and you went across the Skyway, you're still just making that right and going south. So you're just going across the Skyway and then south a minute. You're right there. You're not going back up.
Oh, yeah, you're not going back up. You're right. Yeah. I was
still,
Peggy's was further north.
It's still a ride.
But it's still a hell of a ride. But yeah, so I mean, people got it out, and got the whole list. Me and One3 tried. Yeah. I think we got 3 stops in.
Did we do 3?
We got.
I was gonna say 6, but hey.
No, I don't even think it was 6. So we had Burt's Barracuda was one. Quaker Steak was the other.
It was 2.
And then there was one more.
The beer place. Sea
Dog.
Sea Dog.
Sea Dog was the other one. So.
Yeah, we only did 3.
Yeah. So I mean,
felt like 6.
Felt like 6. Well. Each stop, you get a beer?
Yeah, each stop you get a beer and everything else. But I mean, like, so kudos to the people that actually got it all done, because...
but they didn't do the event.
No, they didn't. And and you made a point of one person, too. We were sitting at Quaker Steak and Lube, and we're just, we're hanging out, we're drinking beer, we're having we're hanging out, we're having a good conversation.
Yep.
And this dude on, I don't know, it's like an Indian bag or I don't remember. He comes in on something, right? And the wife hops off the back of the bike, walks close enough to Quaker Steak so that her phone would measure, her GPS positioning there. Checks in, hops back on the bike, and they bolt out to go to the next stop. I'm like, wait a minute. and Bobby's like, hey, you gotta have a beer for it to count. That's bullshit.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
For it to count, you've got to have a beer.
So
get off the bike and have a beer.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. At least it got all the other all the other businesses in the area involved in the Bike Fest as well. It was funny because as we were sitting there doing all this, me and 1-3 are in there taking pictures of all of the show bikes, which we actually missed the show. We came in the day on Sunday.
The day late.
Yeah, we screwed that up. But we're sitting there taking pictures of these bikes, and there's legit a young couple there touring the grounds because I'm guessing they're going to go do they're going to have their wedding or their reception or something there.
I remember.
And I'm laughing at it, just like, what a fucking terrible day to choose to do this. Like, you come here to look at a venue, and you got a bunch of dirty bikers walking around.
Well, wait a minute. You say a terrible day to do this, but maybe they're bikers.
That's possible, right?
Maybe they have a BMW bike somewhere, or because they did not look like they had Harleys.
They might have been riding Gixxers if they were bikers. I'm just going to put it out to the ethos like that. So, but anyways, kind of pushing this story along. It was a great time. We got there Saturday. Saturday night they had Saving Abel was on stage.
Yes.
They sounded pretty good. Pretty good setup for music there. And then while Saving Abel was on, the Army Golden Knights jumped in.
That was amazing.
That was cool. Sunset.
You fly helicopters?
I did.
Or yeah. Okay. So I didn't know if you jumped out of them or if you just flew them.
Well, before I flew, I had to jump, but yeah, flying was the.
Yeah, flying's much better.
Flying's much better than jumping out.
Staying in the front's much better.
Yeah. But that was super cool, and I meant to. That's another thing I meant to do is do a little slideshow real quick of the jumpers. And I totally missed that, but it was super cool because it was a sunset jump. So as those guys were coming in and they just landed right there on the beach, it was just the sunset behind them, and it was just super cool. Really good job. Kim actually got some really good video and good pictures. That's what I was going to put up, and I totally forgot.
Yeah, I got a good shot of the lead guy that was coming down with the American flag.
Yeah,
a really good shot of him. And a little later on that day, I found a video that he took where he was coming in.
Oh shit! So from his point of view,
coming down. Yeah, that's cool. That is a cool. Yeah, man.
Do me a favor if you have your video, shoot me the video, and then give me the link, and I'll splice them together. And I'll make a pretty cool video.
Absolutely.
So anyways, so that was Saturday. Had a blast. We were out pretty much all day, and then we left. We left Saturday, and we ended up at the Sea Dog Brewing,
right?
Which was a cool, really, really cool spot. Food's fucking great.
I was impressed.
Yeah, it was really good.
I was really impressed.
If you guys are in St. Pete, I know there's a couple other. There's one in Orlando. There's one in Clearwater somewhere. But check them out. Really, really cool spot. But I'm gonna throw something up here real quick. We met these guys. We met this couple. It was actually a group of people,
right?
But it was a couple, and the couple's name is Dave and Sharon. And Dave and Sharon are part of a group called the Tampa Bay Troop Support Group. And I'll throw a link on the comments here so you guys can go check them out. Basically, the long and short of what they do, you can see that on the screen there. They basically make care packages for the troops overseas. I think for Halloween, they shipped over like 100 and some pounds of candy. What? Just, hey guys,
Halloween candy left over.
That's pretty much it, right? But really, really cool stuff, And I know the guys over there enjoy that shit. Getting anything like that, like that from home. So, with that, as you can see on the screen, they accept donations because, as you can imagine, shipping all these boxes overseas creates an issue with trying to find funding to get all those things out there. So, I'll jump over on Facebook real quick and I'll put their link in the comments. But go check them out. Really great people. Really good cause. I know they're getting ready to start collecting and doing things for their next drive. So go check them out. Help them out if you can. A lot of what they look for is just donations for postage.
Right.
Because it costs them so much to get that stuff over there. So they never really have a problem filling the boxes. It's getting the boxes out. So so great people, Dave and Sharon. It was awesome meeting you. I don't know if you guys will ever see this or not, but hopefully you do.
Hopefully.
And know that we do thoroughly support everything you guys do. And if we can be of any help, let us know, and we'll do that for you guys.
Absolutely.
So while we're doing that, I'm going to throw this really kick-ass bike that we saw while we were there. Oh. I'll let 1-3 talk about it while I jump over to Facebook and figure this out.
This is a really badass Goldwing that this guy Phil did. I guess it was his dad's old Goldwing.
Yeah, I think it was his dad's old Goldwing.
And it was in the garage. The guy didn't want to ride it. No, you're good. You brought pictures up because I'm actually going to go over this. I asked him about the exhaust that comes right up next to him. He says, "Oh, it's not that hot." I'm like, what? But yeah, it comes right up next to him on his right hand side, next to his butt, and I don't know how he doesn't burn himself. The foot pegs, I guess they're platforms. Anyway, we started talking to him. The guy did this in his garage. Just started putting everything together, and I don't know, man.
I mean, it's a bobber in the traditional sense, right? I mean, the guy takes his dad's old Goldwing. He didn't want to ride a Goldwing. I don't blame him, but he made a bike that's unique. It's fucking one of a kind. There's no doubt about it. I know these pictures are kind of jumping, but if you look at this picture here, the seat is actually the backrest of the old Goldwing. So, I mean, just all kinds of really cool stuff. The other thing that I found really interesting when we were talking to him, he didn't weld anything on this bike.
Oh yeah,
everything is nuts and bolts. There's no welds anywhere on this bike.
I forgot about that.
He takes that on the highway.
Yes.
Yeah, he bolted it together. He says he's always out there checking things, seeing if it things have loosened up.
If it passes the test.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
You tell him to put slippage marks on everything.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, I just imagine there was not a single weld. I should say there's not a single weld because I'm sure there's welds, factory welds.
Well, factory
right?
welds.
But he personally did not weld anything on the bike. Everything is nuts and bolts put together.
Yeah, Bobby Ayler just commented, "Sweet ride."
Yeah.
Well, it is. It was really interesting. I gotta say that, Bobby.
Yeah, it was really cool because it was in the bike show for the day for Sunday,
right.
And I mean there were some really really nice bikes. You have you had your usuals, right? The super slam down baggers with extended bags and fucking speakers on every known surface. And you had some really cool, remember the military bikes, there was a German,
there's a couple of them.
Italian bike.
There was an Italian one.
I'm having issues with transferring my pictures from an Apple product to my PC because I don't like using iTunes, so whatever. But anyhow, I'll get those pictures up on Facebook so you guys can check them out because they're really cool bikes. But
there was even a Cruella DeVille.
The Cruella DeVille bike. There was some really kick-ass old school Indians down that line too. And actually, I think on one of these slides, you can actually see the Indian in the background. It's a light blue Indian.
Yeah, it's right behind that. Yeah.
But it was, but yeah, I mean, what can I say? Super cool. Actually, that's a panhead, but a super cool, unique bike. I mean, the guy's name was Phil. Phil, if you're watching, we really
we dig your bike.
We dig your bike, man. It was obviously the most unique one. It's not going to win any beauty contests by any stretch of the imagination, no. But I mean it's a bobber in every sense of the word.
But I would tell you that bike right there, would absolutely do for what we have in mind.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just wicked cool.
Yeah, you're definitely stepping into the seat there. You're not going to sling your leg over.
Yeah, I mean, you there's no way to do it.
My knees would be. There's no way I could ride that because
The other thing you can't see in any of his pictures is the man's shifter was a ratchet.
Hand?
It's a ratchet.
Yeah, it's hand shift.
Just a side. It was a hand shift, which is another thing I didn't quite understand either, because if you're looking at it,
Where the hell is it? Somewhere in there. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see.
the thing that you don't like. I'm looking at the bike, and if I'm not mistaken, he's got the clutch in his left hand.
Yeah.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the shifter was on the left side of the bike as well.
Oh, it looks like he's got a brake right over there on the left side, or on the right side.
No, I think on the right.
On the right side, it's like a hand brake.
No, I think that was his clutch because he was clutching and braking or something. I don't know.
Oh, with his right hand?
I don't know, man. I don't know how he was doing it.
I don't know, because I'm looking at it
Impressive.
going, okay, you got a clutch on your left, which would make sense.
How are you going to shift down here?
You're like you're reaching across your body to I don't know. Whatever.
Nobody's borrowing that man's bike.
Nobody. Yeah, he's the only dude that's riding that bike for sure. It's absolutely insane. It was a kick-ass little bike. It was obviously, it's the only pictures that we have of bikes at that weekend that I have up right now, because it was that
unique.
So we had to throw it on there. I thought it was great. So Phil, kick-ass, good job, man.
Way to go, Phil.
We're gonna step ahead now, and let's talk about something that we found. Or Bobby, sent me this a couple days ago, and it was a law that's being passed in. Actually, it's not being passed. The law was passed 2 years ago in California to allow lane splitting by motorcycles.
I think it was passed a lot longer than that because my brother has lived in Southern California for years.
Oh yeah,
and he's always done lane splitting.
Okay.
So
yeah, I don't know. I thought I saw it was 2 years, but maybe I'm wrong there. But so you can lane split in California, and for those of you who don't know what lane splitting is, it sounds like you basically riding the white line in between cars in stop and go traffic or stop traffic. At the moment, California is the only state that allows lane splitting. Nevada is trying to come online with it, but they're having issues with it in their.
I got pros and cons, about it. I think it's pretty cool, but it never worked for us in our baggers.
Road Glide isn't going to cut it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get through. The other thing is in all of my riding, I've never split lanes.
No,
I've never done it.
My lack of trust of other drivers.
That's it.
keeps me
That's
from doing it.
exactly mine.
I mean, how many times? I mean, literally, how many times can you imagine you're running down the lane and some jackass opens his car door because he wants to get out and look and see what's going on, or just because he's being an asshole and he doesn't want you to get in front of him.
He's being a dick.
That
you see them pull over a little bit to squeeze that lane. Yeah, there's a shot right there.
So I mean, it's one of those things, man. It's cool while you can do it, I guess. I don't know that I would want to do it. And I guess the reason we're bringing it up is California has actually passed. They've actually passed legislation to give tips to cage drivers on how to allow lane splitting by motorcycles. And I mean, just some of the things I remember off the top of my head was like, if you're in the far left lane and you're in stop traffic, they want you to pull as far into the lane to the left side as you can so the bikes can go down the line to your right. There's rules as far as where bikes, where you can go and things like that. So, interesting topic, interesting idea. I don't know that I'm doing it.
No.
It's not something I'm, and like Sam said, my lack of trust of everybody else driving. I'm already, you're already on pins and needles riding anyways. And,
especially down here in Florida.
Yeah, and you're going to try and go and do that. I don't know.
So you got Luke on here. He's saying, true, you can't trust other people. And no, you're right. There's no trust in them. No. I'm not doing it.
It's. I mean,
if
think about your 100-mile round trip ride that you do every day.
Every day.
And imagine. I mean, think about all the shit you deal with on that one ride.
That is a stressful ride.
How are you not exhausted when you get to work?
Dude, I am. I can't work.
Yeah.
It's like I got to take an hour.
Tired, I got to go home.
Yeah, I'm done.
No, not that. Tired, I'm going to my shop. Just leave me alone, you know. But no, man, it's not a fun ride.
Right.
I love to ride, but that is absolutely a very stressful ride.
I mean, anytime you're riding in rush hour, period. I don't care where the fuck you are. That's because
wait till August.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But it's like you're during rush hour you've got everybody. I mean, Kim was telling me a story today. Dude in a redneck truck cut her off because he was in a merge lane and the lane was ending, and he's trying to get two cars in front, because he wants to get there as fast as he can, So you got all of that happening, and you're on a bike. Like it's
right.
just it's I don't know. It's crazy. I'm not one to do it. It's not going to happen. So that's what it is, right? So we're gonna push this on too. Let's talk about
real quick before you go. We just got some breaking news from Bobby Ehlers there. He sent me a text, and there was a guy on a Honda CBR that left Bikefest. He wasn't heard from for about 2 weeks.
Dude, I heard about this on the radio today.
They found him today.
Yeah.
In the trees in St. Pete.
Holy shit. In the trees?
In the trees in St. Pete. So, no telling where. I don't know. I don't think he went off an off-ramp or...
I was listening to the radio on the way over here, actually, and I caught the end of the story. Yeah. And the guy's been missing for like a week or something. He didn't come to Thanksgiving or anything like that. And I guess
say where he was found.
Just said in St. Pete. I didn't read the whole article yet.
I've been off one of those high areas on 19.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, I guess they found pieces of the bike and all kinds of shit too. Like he obviously
it took him a
prayers go out to that guy's family.
Yeah,
I would tell you that there.
Yeah. Too many,
They found him near 275, they said. Let's see. His girlfriend drove separately and made it home safely. The highway patrol says they were picking up trash Thursday morning. This morning.
Yeah.
Wow. What a shame. What a shame. Anyway.
Yeah, man. So, be on P's and Q's, man.
Right on.
I'm sure if they go back and if they could figure it out, I'm sure their speed was involved and many other things were involved there too. So, so with that, stay safe, guys.
Absolutely.
Keep it on two wheels. Keep it safe.
Rubber side down.
That's it, man.
I got that from Mr. Ehlers.
Keep it safe. Keep it safe. All right, so I'm gonna put up the tech tips, and the reason I want to throw up the tech tips is because we were talking about my start of my ride for St. Pete, right? We already figured out that I had some low tire pressure issues on the bike, which you don't want to do, right?
No,
it's just bad news all the way around. So
especially with the temperature change.
Yeah, so you gotta stay on top of that shit, right? And last week we talked about pre-flighting your bike, right? Get out there and check your fluids, check your lights, check all that shit, make sure everything's good. So coming off of that, I was being the good rider, and I decided, you know what? I need to take a look at some of my stuff. So I checked the oil, I checked everything, everything's good. Well, as some of you guys may remember, I'm having an issue with my master cylinder. My clutch master cylinder is leaking. While we were at St. Pete Bikefest, I went to see if they could order a part or if they had the part for a rebuild kit. They did not. We went to service. Apparently there was a recall on the clutch master cylinder. we talked to Big Mike at Burst Barracuda. Great dudes over there, by the way. Mike helped me out tremendously. But found out that the recall had already been done on the bike.
Yep.
But he's like, let me get your info. I'll talk to the service manager. We'll figure this shit out, right? So he did call me back, and ends up being that the recall was for the internals of the master cylinder, and my master cylinder is leaking from the sight gauge. So doesn't cover that, and the repair kit doesn't fix the sight glass leakage.
So we're getting a new
master cylinder eventually. They're not cheap, but hey, it's a quick fix at least. But
eventually,
no. I mean,
it's gonna take some time.
It'll get done.
So it's gonna go dry a couple more times.
It might. So what the 1-3 is talking about? We're just gonna throw this up on the screen here. So Alvie jumps on his bike, and not jumps on my bike, but I pull the cover of the master cylinder off, and as you can see on the screen here.
Like an empty bowl of Cheerios.
Baby was bone dry. You know, the funny thing is, it's amazing how much better it shifts when it's got fluid in it. So yeah, she was just about bone dry. There's a little bit of fluid in there.
You're saying there's residue?
Yeah. I see a little bit of shininess down there.
There's a little bit of fluid. There's a little bit in there, but it obviously not enough.
It's below the sight glass. How is it below the? Wait a minute.
Well, when the bike, because you got to imagine that's sitting on the stand. So it's, and if you look at this picture here, you can see how full, quote unquote full it is. So when you rock that back to level,
empty.
Yeah, when you rock it back to level, actually it was. I knew it was low. I didn't realize it was that low. Because you could still see.
Half full kind of
yeah, you could still see fluid. You know what I mean? You could obviously, right? If you could see fluid on a sight gauge, you're supposed to add fluid, right? That's the kind of the way those things work. There isn't like a level. Like it's not. Oh, it's only halfway. Okay, no. You're supposed to put these things. If you ever see fluid, to fill it up.
Is this? Oh, it says fill.
Yeah, it says fill, not full.
Not full, but fill. But that's the full level.
That's telling you need to fill it.
Yeah. Once you get below, that's what, about an 1/8 inch.
It's impressive.
Yeah. So
that's a potential other problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a potential problem.
Absolutely. So you could take it from me.
Yeah.
Pre-flight your bike.
Yeah.
And if you know you have a leak, fix it, but also you know that you probably need to start adding more fluid to that
little
leak.
earlier
than
Never.
We're not going to say how long there was. How long did you have that little
well, the thing is, I mean that tie was only on there for like 2 or 3 weeks. But the problem is I don't know when that leak started.
Right.
I just caught it coming over here one night and was like, oh shit, it's leaking. So obviously it's been leaking more than 3 weeks.
A minute.
It's been leaking for a while because it's not just pouring out. It's a steady drip, but I mean it's been leaking for a while. So yeah, don't be like me, right? And make sure that your shit is full. And again, it goes back to what we said last week, right? Check your tire pressures, check your fluids, check your lights, check your brakes, all that stuff. Make sure everything is good. Because you know what, I might have fucked up, but
what?
we also had somebody who needed air in their tire as well.
Oh, why are you gonna point at me? Because it wasn't my bike.
I know. I'm not. We're not saying any names.
It wasn't my bike that needed air. It was my other half's bike.
But yeah. So I mean, it just goes to show you, right? And like Sam said too, with the temperature changes, your tire pressures are going to change. So and here in Florida, the last like 2 weeks has been up and down and up and down. We got freaking weather by civil right now.
Prior to the first little cold snap, we were rocking 80 degrees every day.
Yeah,
every day.
Now it's 40.
Yeah, and then it's going to be 80. It's going to be 80 something by Saturday, I think. So
my tire pressure yesterday was 22, and before I left for the vacation, it was in like high 30s.
Yeah.
40s.
So I mean, you know,
there there's a number.
You just gotta check your bikes, make sure everything is good to go.
Yeah.
So as opposed to what we were talking about earlier, last couple shows where we were gonna have a video of me and the 1-3 rebuilding the master cylinder, that is no longer a rebuild. It is now a complete replacement of said cylinder.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good little a good job, and it'll be a good video as well.
Well, I'll tell you what you do. You let it leak out until. Well, I know. You let it leak out until it gets to that level that we don't have to drain it.
Well, that's a good way, right?
Just, hey, it's getting a little stiff to shift. Oh, now it's time to replace.
It's time to replace.
Do you remember that feel?
I don't know. Yeah, I do. But and here's another reason why we're gonna do the work. Harley wants $600 and some to do that job.
Dude,
just saying.
It's a Harley.
I know, but yeah, they want $600.
Wow.
I was like, okay, thanks, Mike. Appreciate the help, but yeah, I'm not gonna have. I'll do it. I'll take care of it.
Wow.
So, you know, that's another side of the coin too. Learn how to wrench on your own bikes. I mean,
yeah, man.
It's, you know, if you don't know how, fucking YouTube it, right?
That is an amazing Google is an amazing thing.
I mean,
I was about to say get a book, but no, just type it in.
Google, well, you could. I mean, you can get
somewhere.
owner's manuals and maintenance manuals and shit like that. They're all online now too. I mean, I think you can buy the actual Harley maintenance manual.
You can buy a digital one.
Yeah, a digital one for under $100 or right around $100, something like that. So,
no, Harley still loves their product.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit more than that, but yeah. So, so there you go. Check your fluids. Check
everything, man.
everything.
Air, electrical system. Make sure everything's working. Turn signals. Actually, I had a turn signal out the other day. Had to replace my lights.
Oh yeah.
Put LED lights in it.
Nice. Welcome.
About time.
No, well, they're just the LED brake lights because
That's all right.
I'll get the front ones.
You gotta
Those fronts.
They go up slowly.
keep going up, man.
Yeah, I can't pull the trigger on that $108 for the white ones up front.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I gotta wait.
I was just saying, I got mine. I got my headlight for fairly cheap, but you got two of them.
Yeah. I think they wanted 130 something on Amazon for that headlight.
For both of them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not
It's
bad.
a kit. It comes both of them LED with a little ring, and the ring can be used as a turn signal. It's like 130.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, something we found, or I got it. I don't even know how I got it. I got it. It was on, actually, you know what? It was on Facebook, and it was 1025 The Bone sent out this class action lawsuit for Harley-Davidson.
Oh yeah, here we go.
So I saw it, and I had to bring it. I had to bring it to the show because I'm gonna read it to you guys. And I know 1-3's got some opinions on it. We'll see what Sam's opinion is on it, and we'll go from there. So apparently in California, 4 gentlemen have brought up a lawsuit against Harley-Davidson, alleging that their motorcycles were defectively designed and they can't be used for their intended purposes. The class action claims that Harley-Davidson engines run so hot that they pose a constant danger to riders and cause constant danger to riders, in that the engines cause burns and are therefore not good for their intended use anymore. They're saying that they can catch fire, or the clothing can catch fire, things like this, okay? It alleges that since 1999, the twin cam motors from Harley-Davidson, the twin cam 88, 96, 103, and 110 cubic inches, produce severe excessive heat, causing clothing to catch fire, burn injuries, and the danger of burn injuries to riders and passengers, as well as causing premature engine wear because of the heat overheating. And on models after 2006, it's causing transmission failure.
Just stop. I don't even want to hear any more of this because it's making my head swell.
So before you go, real quick, the Harley-Davidson asked the Eastern District of California Court to throw this out, and a judge said no. So now Harley-Davidson is going to face class action certification process at the end of the month. And go.
What the fuck? I mean, really? Harley-Davidson motorcycles have always run hot. We know this. Every single one of us that ride a Harley have. Go ahead. I see you, Sam.
I'm not even gonna say it's an engine.
It's
Pop open the hood of your car. There's heat shields everywhere. It's an engine.
It's an engine.
A motor. Mm-hmm. It's between your legs. It gets hot because it makes you go fast.
It's called friction.
That's why you keep fluid in all the parts
to keep the friction
to
down.
Keep it from degrading all over the place.
So here's my gimmick on this. All right, my take on this. Are these guys, number one, are they bikers? Have they ever ridden a Harley Davidson before? Or any? I had a Honda. My Yamaha ran hot. I mean, Honda ran hot. My CX 500.
My Cowie ran hot.
Yeah,
I had water-cooled engines that
Yeah.
ran hot, and it felt hot between it. Come on, man. So these guys are either not bikers, never ridden, or they've got $35,000 that they can spend and just ride a motorcycle. And this is what they decided. Let's do this. Maybe they're these guys that sue people. Maybe they're the
It could be.
they're the McDonald's hot coffee people.
Yeah.
That's what these guys are.
Well, I mean, it's kind of right on that part. Yeah, right on that line, right?
I mean, come on.
It was too hot.
Yeah.
No shit, you ordered coffee.
Yeah.
No shit, you're on a motorcycle.
So-
It gets hot.
Yeah, I mean...
You're going to touch the fucking exhaust?
Well,
what
and
the
that's
hell?
the thing. It's like, why are we touching the engine while it's running anyways?
Well, that's a great point, too. Like, I mean, let's be honest. I think every single person sitting in this room right now has touched a exhaust pipe with their leg or
Once or twice?
something, right? I mean, we've all got burns.
Hell, I straight up forgot I got off the damn bike, and I went to go wipe something off and changed my life.
Light you up.
Took your fingerprints off, didn't it?
So
For a little while.
So everybody knows they run hot. That's what they are. I mean, fuck. There's a company called Love Jugs that sells fans to cool cylinder heads on Harley Davidson motorcycles because they run hot. Like, I wanted to bring this up for this conversation because it's the funny thing about it is, like 1-3 said, we don't know who these guys are. It's 4 dudes. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they ride. They could be, weekend warrior business suit guys that,
Can we countersue them?
They're right.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're riding wearing their freaking business slacks instead of some jeans.
There's some polyester that's catching fire.
Or it's
I don't
California. They're wearing their bathing suit.
I mean, so it's
the sandals and shit.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't, it's the crazy. Here's the crazy part about this, right?
Oh wait, there's more.
No. I'm just saying the crazy part about this is the judge threw out Harley Davidson's appeal for it, right? A request to throw it away. So they're going to face the class action process, legitimately meaning Harley Davidson is just going to pay money out to these 4 guys to make them go away. That's how it's going to go down. Maybe they can get the whole class action to get together. Depends on how many people will fucking sign up for the class action too.
Well, you know that someone else is going to do it. Someone else.
Of course, somebody's people. There's free money involved,
looking for their
right?
handout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you and I and you can get your $12 check.
That's it.
Right. Well, you know what has happened? There was, I don't know what company it was, but there was a lawsuit against them, a class action suit. They gave free popcorn away.
that was the ruling.
The ruling they gave the popcorn away.
The funny thing is, like how many letters do you get in the mail, in your lifetime that were class action lawsuits? Hey, you were part of this class, blah 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 blah. I've gotten probably 5 or I don't know 5. We'll call it 5. We'll just make it easy, right? 5. I've never filled out the paperwork to send it in. I've never done it.
No.
I had one. I had one from Carnival Cruises, and I don't remember what the fuck it was for, but I was like, and then I put it down. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll do it. And then 3 months later, I found the paperwork. I was like, oh well, I throw it away and I moved on. So, but that's the thing, right? So it's going to depend on how many people will sign up for this class action. But the reality of it is
Excuse me, oh my gosh.
Harley will probably just settle.
Yeah, but that's unfortunate because that's money that's going out.
Well, sure, but I mean that's again,
Oh my gosh, I'm
Bless
sorry.
you. So that's,
must be allergic
that's
Sam.
that's kind of how these whole
Sam Dander.
that's kind of how these whole thing that whole process works, right? Is you find something that you can bitch and moan about that's going to create.
Well, they'll just raise the price of their bikes
again, right?
Well, I mean,
$600 to change out a mattress.
Yeah, it's going to be $800 now.
Jeez.
So the other thing to look at too is we all know that Harley has had some issues in the past with recalls, especially with their clutches.
right? And it was brakes. What was the last time?
It was clutch.
230,000
Yeah.
people.
So I mean, we know that there's issues, right? And apparently, in that lawsuit, apparently these guys are saying, or the lawyers or whoever it is, obviously it's the lawyers putting it all together, but they're saying that Harley knows that there's a problem. Harley knows that there's a problem, and Harley has not done anything to fix said problem. And when people come to Harley with said problem, Harley tells them,
Buy a heat shield.
buy a heat shield, buy a love jug, buy a fucking cage. I don't know, right?
The
Come
one
over here
guy,
and take a look at our CVO.
the water cooled CVO, right on.
Funny you mentioned that hot engine.
Yeah.
We have a cure for it.
We have
It
a
only
cure.
costs $70,000
That's
over
it.
here.
No, it wasn't. How much was that CVO we looked at?
Yeah, it was like 60, 70. I don't remember. It was stupid.
It wasn't 70. It was
fucking-
under 70.
It was fucking beautiful though.
68.
It was
Point
it was an
Nine.
ultra limited CVO.
Oh, it was a beautiful bike, though. Gorgeous bike. Oh,
They're monsters.
it had a freaking remote to lock the bags.
To lock the bags, you don't even have to lock them anymore.
I was like, are you kidding
It's like,
me?
this is
It's
awesome.
impressive.
I think. Well, the new Indian has that too, but
I think Honda, the Gold Wings have them too.
Probably.
if I'm not mistaken. I know Howie said something, or one of the Honda guys from the Gold Wing,
yeah,
one of the wingers,
the wingers.
wangers.
So yeah, interesting. An interesting story.
They're just fucking assholes.
Yeah,
We're gonna chalk that up to assholes, and I hope they don't get it. I hope
they don't either. I mean,
I hope that a judge does say, "Oh, fuck you, come on."
I think it could get to a point too where it gets high enough to where somebody just says, "This is dumb."
Yeah.
But then again, the problem is how many people, as that thing climbs the ladder, right? How many people are going to know what the fuck they're talking about, anyways?
Well, already, I mean,
Everybody that
you
rides
gotta
a Harley.
you gotta ask the question: who in that courtroom actually rides?
Yeah.
Does the judge ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, did that judge that said, "Oh no, Harley-Davidson"?
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean,
That's where your Harley lawyers have got to come in and go. We need to figure this out. Let's stack the deck a little bit here and help us.
I mean,
help
because
us out.
it's just ridiculous. I mean, you know me, I'm in the plumbing trades, and you got this guy, Morgan and Morgan.
Oh yeah.
He's doing the class action suit on cast
Everything?
iron pipes. I'm like, dude, cast iron. Every house built in the mid 70s and below has cast iron plumbing under their house.
Right.
It's only got a shelf life, I mean, a lifespan of like 50 years, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the ground under your house. Water goes through it.
Yeah.
It's gonna fail.
It's gonna rust. It's gonna
It's gonna fail.
It's kind of how it works.
I mean, come on, people. I mean, do your veins, do your arteries last forever? Fuck no, your body dies. Come
With
on,
what I'm
people.
putting in my body.
This is like formaldehyde.
So
Anyway, we got to get off this subject. I'm getting red. Face is fucking.
So we'll get off the subject. So let's just go because we're kind of running short on time here. So let's just jump right into our events section, things that we want to talk about. I've got these are going to just keep running in the background there. All the events that I have popped up. I know 1-3's got a few that he's going to bring up as well. But the one that just passed there, the Vietnam Vets Legacy Veteran MC Toy Run. We met some people at St. Pete. They were gracious enough that they were getting up off of their table, and we just happened to be close. And they're like, "You guys want to sit down?" So we took their table.
Yep.
And in the process, gave us a card. Had the Toy Run, December 9th, 2018. You can read it there. It's we've linked it on Facebook as well. It's this time of year is tough for a lot of families out in the Tampa Bay area, out all over the country. So there's tons of events going on over the next few weeks. So just keep an eye out in your local area for anything coming up as far as toy runs, poker runs for charity, things like that. Because if we can help out, and as we all know, the biker community always comes together to prop up and push up everybody. Whether you ride or not, we're here to help you guys. So
absolutely.
So with that, I think the AmVets is part of that, and the
Legion.
No, not the Legion. I'll think of it here in a second. But anyhow, that toy run's going to be kick-ass, and definitely go check them out. The teddy bear toy run as well. Again, like I said, man, they're just all over the place right now.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Pick one, pick both. I don't, whatever you can do, get out there and help out. I know most of those things. I know Bobby just recently did Toys for Tots run. I think that was
Bobby
last
Ehlers
week.
did. Yeah, he did.
So they're going on all over the place. So, and I know all of those toy runs. If you're not going to ride in it, throw an unwrapped toy in your car and bring it up and drop it off. Because I know
give it to a biker.
People, or give it to somebody that's going to one of them. Because I know that everybody's they're gonna take them anyhow. So do that. The last two events that keep popping up here. One is one that me and the 1-3 really wanted to do, but for me it gets to be a busy time at work for me, and the 1-3's got some scheduling that he can't do it either. But it's the Key West Poker Run. I've been trying to go on this poker run for the better part of 5 years now.
Me too.
And
you going?
Shit always happens.
What about you, Sam?
Are you guys going?
Yeah, we can't.
Make time.
We can't go, but it is an event that Full Throttle was putting on. I believe it was Full Throttle, right? Did it say?
Yeah, it was
Full Throttle was doing it, or Key West Poker Run. Oh no, that's Phil Peterson's. Anyway, Full Throttle goes to that thing. It's an amazing ride. I've ridden down to the Keys before. I used to do it all the time. Living in Key West. So
yeah.
But it's a good ride, man. It's fun, especially when you get into the Keys and you start going down. You got the Atlantic on one side, the Gulf on the other, and you're just going over the bridges.
That's a great ride.
Sounds awesome.
It is a great ride.
If you can do it, do it.
Yeah, if you can do it, it's a fun ride. Everybody that's ever done it that I've talked to says it's a hell of a time. So
January 12th, 2019.
And the last event that keeps popping up there is our friends at Full Throttle, our friends at Burt's Barracuda, and our friends at Quaker Steak and Lube. I think they're helping them out as well.
Yes.
But it's the Motorcycle Expo in February of next year.
Yes.
We're gonna pimp the shit out of this thing because one, it's a kick-ass event. Burt's Barracuda is building a new facility across the street from Quaker Steak and Lube. So that bike night is going to get even bigger now.
It's on 10 acres.
Yeah, it's huge. It's absolutely massive.
10 acres.
And friend of the 1-3's, Eric Warren, put together a bike. You guys have seen that bike on a couple different past episodes as well as on our page.
Yeah, Marvin Scott, he did all the metals, Misfit Metalworks. He did a lot of engraving and such. Eric Warren did the paint. He's got like a $10,000 paint job on that bike. It's a Road Glide. It's an 09 Road Glide custom, I believe.
Yeah, so we'll, like I said, we'll be pimping the shit out of that event for the next, foreseeable future.
Real quick, there is I know this says the 7th through the 10th for the expo. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. However, Wednesday night, Quaker Steak and Lube is going to have their bike night right there so it's actually going to start a day early.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna just kind of like do a soft opening or whatever.
Yeah.
For all the vendors that are setting up and everything, they will have a bike night that for that. So
yeah, so I mean, we were out there across the street basically at Quaker Steak and Lube.
Doing one of our stops
At the trying to get all of our scavenger hunt done, but that plot of land over there is massive. They haven't. I don't think they've really started doing any kind of construction.
They are now.
Are they?
They're actually really soon. They're going to start They're going to have some pavement done, and a 10,000 square foot, I think he said, slab is getting put down.
Jesus.
Real soon, like within a week or so.
Okay, so they're moving.
A lot of stuff going on.
It's gonna be a great facility, and like I said, bouncing that bike night now at Quaker Steak and Lube between them and Harley, it's gonna be massive.
Huge.
It's gonna be massive. It's already the biggest bike night in Tampa, so, or I mean, I think it's even in the state now. But yeah, so those are. What did you have any other events that you wanted to?
Yeah, I got a couple things here. Yeah, real quick. Let me say hello to.
Little bit
shoot, I'm not going to type it. I'm just going to say it. Hello, Brian. This is a buddy of mine from school, Brian Blackburn. When I went to high school, last time I saw him, he was dropping me off at my house after a party. I was pretty drunk, I think.
No,
you remember it?
Well, he's the one that actually. He says, "Yeah, last time I saw you, man, it was a party, and I dropped you at your house." I guess I made it home safe. Thanks, Brian. Yeah. So anyway, a couple bike nights. We got the Salty Shamrock in Apollo Beach. It's the last Thursday of every month. It's going to be keep going on. I talked to Sharpie a couple weeks ago, and he wants the Rock and Road Show to do an event with him on. So maybe the last Thursday of one of these, we'll be over there and do a remote. It's going to be a long haul, but what the hell, right? Let's do something.
we can figure it out.
Right on. So, Quaker Steak and Lube every Wednesday night is their bike night. So, if y'all want to do that, go to that. Brooksville does have something going on. It's called the Brooksville Bike Rally and Cruise In. They have a $5 bike show entry. You pay $5, you get a bike show. There's trophies and prizes. That's going to be December 2nd. And it's 615 Old Hospital Drive. I don't have the slightest idea where that is because I don't know anything about Brooksville. But it's 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. 4 p.m. I'm sorry. God, a.m.
That'd be a hell of a party.
That's a party, bro. December 2nd. If you bring a unwrapped toy or gift or something, you'll get 5 tickets for the prize raffle. So there's a raffle they got going on. But that's all I have. You got anything?
I don't.
You don't have anything?
No, I just got back from vacation.
Oh yeah, so you're still in vacation.
You're still in vacation,
I'm on vacation
mode
from my vacation.
Awesome.
Sam's still in vacation mode. Well then, so I think that kind of covers it. We hit everything I think we wanted to hit. The one thing I didn't say when we started this was I hope everybody had an awesome Thanksgiving. We didn't really talk much about Thanksgiving, but
dude,
I ate entirely too much. And
I think I gained 5 pounds.
A lot. So
I think I did call you.
So this is a good story. So the 1-3, I'm out Saturday with Kim's mom, stepdad, brother, sister, and brother-in-law.
You remember who you were with?
Yeah, and. So we had just left Kim's sister's house. They're building a house out in Winter Haven.
I've heard something like that.
Winter Garden.
I know someone else that's building a house. Just to let you know,
Orlando, Winter Garden.
Winter Garden, Winter Haven.
Yeah, whatever. Winter Garden, not Winter Haven. So anyhow, we're out drinking, eating, whatever, and 1-3. He texts me. He doesn't call me. He texts me.
All right, whatever.
And he says, "Hey, blah blah blah, whatever." You threw me the text for the lane splitting. He's like, "We got to put this on the show." I was like, "Cool."
Yeah.
I remembered that, and then I put my phone down and I proceed to, have a normal day of drinking. Right. Well, it was. I think it was Monday. I call the 1-3 and I'm just like, "Hey, what's going on?" He goes, "Not much. What's up?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. I saw you text me. I'm just giving you a call back." He's like, "Yeah, I text you Saturday." I was like, "Oh,
no, I'm looking. It was Friday."
Friday. So there you go.
So your day drinking was on Friday also.
Yes. Yeah.
It's whatever.
So so I'm like, oh yeah, you did text me.
Oh shit.
Like, all right, well I'm returning your text then.
Yeah, man, let's put this on. I get a thumbs up at least. I did get a thumbs up. I said, hey, you feel like talking? He goes, I can in a bit. I'm out with Kim's family at the moment. Okay, well, I'm driving. Whatever.
Radio silence.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so...
Next text I got from him was today.
Yeah, so... Well, I did call him on Monday, but... anyhow, that was actually kind of funny. So anyways... I hope everybody did have a good Thanksgiving. I know Sam over here.
He was out on the island.
He did the best Thanksgiving ever. Him, his immediate family on a boat, and got the fuck out.
That's right. That's right. Always get the drink package.
Yes.
Well, that means everybody in your cabin has to get the drink package.
I don't care. I put it to the test.
Did it work out for you?
It worked out great for me. Had a great time.
Not so much for Norwegian.
They didn't have to clean up after me. So.
No, that's good then. So with that, it's great to be back. We'll be back again next week. If anybody else got anything else they want to say, I think we'll close her down. Thank you guys for checking us out today, and we'll see you next time. Keep it rocking.
Absolutely.
See ya.